So welcome this beautiful evening, third day in January of 2017. I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher. Right away, wanting to introduce these incredible athletes that are here. Also very much under the guidance of Al Rosen. So this is hashtag real people, hashtag real conversations. And I want to hand it over to Al Rosen, who's the CEO and founder of TriFit World Challenge. Al, take it away.
Yeah, we're here tonight with actually 6 athletes from Tri Fitness. We have Gina Germano Rains, Michelle Vanderwell, Jenny Kirkpatrick, Wes Walker, and Dr. Bart Rademacher, who competed about 17 years ago. But we're here to actually just to discuss how Tri Fitness has impacted our lives and other people's lives. To give you a little history about TriFitness, we started, it'll be 20 years ago. It was with the idea to empower people, to challenge athletes, for athletes to come around the world, from around the world, be able to compete on the equal playing field, level play field. Everything has rules, regulations, and the thing about it is, in all our events, nothing really changes. Our obstacle, we have events. The obstacle course, which is 160 yards. Things never change. All the measurements are exact same on that course and have been for the last 20 years. We have a 230-yard true grit challenge. We have 3 fitness skills, which consist of bench pressing for women 60% of their body weight, for men 80%, 50 box jumps on a 20-inch box times, a shuttle run, 10 beanbag shuttle run. Then there's optional rounds of a great women, great physique event and a fitness routine event. So athletes could do all the events or any of the events. So the athletes here have been involved for quite a while. They come from different backgrounds. They come from Michelle's originally from Nebraska. Gina's from Connecticut. Jenny and Wes are both Florida, born and raised, I believe. Jenny, you're originally from Florida?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. And Bart's been over in Europe. I know quite a bit. I think he might have even been born there. I'm not even sure about that. I think he went to medical school over there. Seem to recall. I myself, I'm from New York City, and somehow wound up in Florida. I actually got a degree in physical education from the University of Tampa, and I forgot to return to the New York, New Jersey area. So I stayed down here, and 20 years ago, started the event. And like I said, this is year number 20. We have a 20th World Challenge coming up in June 2nd and 3rd. And we welcome any individual, child, senior citizen, anybody that wishes to empower themselves and feel their power of accomplishment. Now, we're going to kick it off a little. I'm gonna with some of the athletes here. Gina, you've been involved for over 10 years. You come from a dance background, but go ahead and tell the people out there in Facebook land a little about yourself and what you do like about Tri Fitness and some of the accomplishments and what do you see in the future. And I know you have a son, so hopefully, and I know he's a little baseball player, and he's a little athlete. I saw him swinging the bat the other day online. So I know he's probably got your speed. So yeah, go ahead, take it away.
Well, I hope maybe he'll be a little faster than me, but we'll see. I started TriFit like Al said, over 10 years ago. I came from a dance and gymnastics background and went to college. And when I got done, I didn't want to stop competing or setting goals or working towards something. So I started looking into the different fitness competitions, and I had a really close friend that took a couple years to kind of convince me to come to TriFit, because she would tell me about, like climbing the walls and being outside and running around. And at the time, I had no interest of like getting dirty and kind of like sweating outside or doing any of that. And after convincing me for a period of time that I really would love it and I should try it, I ended up going to practice one day, and then I never looked back. And that was probably 11 years ago. So it's been a long time that I've been part of this family, and I can't wait to start training again and getting back into it. And it's a lot of fun. So we all work together and we all set goals for each other and we push ourselves and the day comes and we achieve them. So it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
And let me mention, Gina has been very successful this past year. She won the overall Tri-Fitness Championship, thus meaning that she was, when you combined all the events, the fitness skills, the greater physique, the routine, the true grit, and the also, of course, her combination of overall score came out number one. It took 11 years, but you know what? You have to enjoy the journey. And I think that's what she learned. She learned to enjoy the journey, and then she kind of got the dessert at the end here this past year. I know Michelle has two daughters also, along with a new about a year old
9
son.
months.
So
9 months.
9 months, okay. And so she's actually coming back from a pregnancy. She's competed. I'm gonna guess what, about 7 years now.
Yeah, about.
Okay, and she has two daughters who we're hoping will join us this coming June, and we'll make it a family affair.
Absolutely. They've my girls have helped out the last couple years and they've been really inspired by watching all different levels compete and it's been quite inspiring for them as well as watching me go through everything that I've gone through.
And this is your comeback after, even though you last year you were out pregnant, but you were still helping out at the event. You were there for the entire event. But this, now we have the next 5.5 months, right?
That's right. Yep. I'm talking to Jen about fitness routine, but it's probably going to just take another year for me to execute and get through it. But we're going to start.
The next two athletes are interesting ones. Let's see, West. They both came, I'm going to say, probably in about 2009.
I competed in 10, and she came the year after.
10 and 11. Okay.
I might have been a few years. I think I was 12.
Okay, whatever. But then West didn't show up for a while. Then I called him up and said, Wes, you need to come back to Tri Fitness. So he comes back to Tri Fitness, and who's out there? Is Jen. Okay, next thing you know, you have Tri Fitness Love, I think it's called, and
Yep.
That's Tri Fitness. But one of the great things, Wes has a daughter that's 8 years old, and I know Tri Fitness has been influencing her as far as physically, mentally, emotionally, and we hope to make this a super family affair come June.
Definitely, yeah. Tell her enjoys going out there. It's a lot of fun. We both like going out there and challenging ourselves and encouraging other people to get out there. We both enjoy working out, but Tri Fitness just gives us that extra thing to go out and really challenge ourselves and create a bond with everybody. I call it the Tri Fitness family. Everybody pushes themselves and everybody is upbeat and pleasant, and it really is a great experience all around for kids and adults.
And you just mentioned the camaraderie and the family atmosphere. Back, I think it was about 2001. A woman, the producer of Brian Gumbel's Real Sport on HBO, a woman, I think her name was Lisa Bennett, came to me and she said, "Al, I don't understand this. I've been to athletic events all throughout the world, filmed all these different sports. I've never seen women cheering on other women, complete strangers." And I don't know how that came to be. I think everybody looks at the event as just challenging and crossing the finish line. And actually, because the measurements never change, you always have a time. So if you run 57 seconds on the obstacle course, I think it's more important to go out there and try to run a 56.99 than anything else. So I think most of the athletes believe in that. And I think it's all about challenging yourself. And I think that's what creates the camaraderie of, and everybody wants to see everybody improve.
Yeah,
about
I would
challenging.
like to say that there's not been one year that I've gone and not heard a story or felt a story from a real person and wanted to cry because they've overcome so much, whether it's a physical uh, deal or if they lost a bunch of weight or if they went through a divorce. If one Rebecca, I remember that one year she wasn't going to go on stage and she Chestnut, I think, is it? She lost all that weight and got all ready, and then she wouldn't go on stage, and then we all kind of cheered her on, and Bernadette lent her some shoes, and we got her on, and she was just so happy, and she looked so beautiful, and it's
Well,
those
she's back
moments
with
where
us
it's
this
like,
year. She already registered.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Aww.
This is the only sport where everyone's nice to each other.
Yeah.
I think it's all about challenging yourselves. We offer no Corvettes, no college scholarships, no big prize money. I think if the idea was people come from around the world. We have Carol Anthony who's been come over from South Africa the last 5 years. Cost her family about 10 grand to get over to the event, but it's
Yeah.
important to her to be able to be with her Tri Fitness family, to be able to challenge herself, beat her previous, getting her personal best times on everything, and I think that's what drives people. I think if you would rather come away from the event with 20 new friends than a trophy, I think you probably found the right place.
That is the trophy, right? So let me
That is
jump
the
in.
trophy.
Yeah, let me jump in for a moment. As a previous athlete and photographer, and really truly a life changer, is that anybody listening in, and again, potential athletes who want to come in the future, and past athletes. I mean, this is truly a very unique event. I mean, there are many challenges out there. You have the Spartan, you have the Savage, and you have the Mutter race, and all these things. But what's so brilliantly unique about this one is how everybody really truly works together in all facets, in all parts. And what's absolutely wonderful is seeing, both very young people and very older people, if you will, who are challenging themselves to beat their best times. And you see the challenge and the struggle and the pain that they sometimes go through, like the box jumps. I mean, that's when you think of it, that's one of the hardest things I think that you have. But everybody's out there just supporting and giving them energy, and so that they get to create new personal successes. And that's such a wonderful thing because it's that collective energy, that collective spirit that I don't know if there's any other event in the world like it, Al. So what you've created is something amazing. And so my question for you, how did you and God's name come up with this idea? And what was the mission or the vision behind this when you first started? What's been about 25 years now?
20 years. I guess the origin goes back to I owned the third gym in the history of Tampa, and I had a background in I helped promote and create and build, I should say, build the world's largest gymnastic meet, the Gasparilla Invitational that Tim Keckler started, and uh, what happened there was in that gymnastic meet there were teams, mostly local teams. Well, my daughter happened to be in the hospital in Boston. So I started going around to the gyms in the Boston area and started telling them about this gymnastic meet. Oh, then she was in the hospital in Philly. So I started telling gyms. Well, eventually, and if they love you when they leave you, they come back. Tim created such a great event that it grew from original 300 up to 3,500, 4,000 athletes. Well, I looked at the sport of gymnastics. I was a professional wrestler in the late '70s, and I promoted some overseas tours. So, and also I was a track coach, so I was used to running big relays and running them on time. So when you're dealing with 1,200 athletes, maybe 60 teams or whatever, you have to have you want to be on time. You don't want people waiting around, so you have to be organized. So I guess just taking everything, knowing that when I was in my gym, there really were no sports. When somebody graduated college, like an athlete like Gina, when she got done with college, there was no way. She either could go into bodybuilding or run a marathon. Okay, well that's not for her. Maybe Michelle. She's in the gym working out, and she needed a goal. Oh, Jen ran track. Well, the obstacle course, was an extension of track. Wes was an athlete; he ran track and played football. So I think I wanted a sport that was fair, equal. We put the physique round in, because that was back in the day. That was the thing in fitness. So there was a fitness show out there with Fitness America had the dance routine and the physique round. NPC just had a physique round. They had a routine round. But I wanted to go ahead and make the routine round a little safer by putting it on the gymnastic or cheer floor. I wanted to come out with real rules and a real scoring system. So that's what we did. We just created a sport, and and 20 years later, we're here speaking about it. And the great thing about it is we wouldn't be where we are without all the great athletes from the past, because they go home, they tell other people about it. So people say, how do people come from Montana, Idaho, Hawaii, South Africa, wherever, all throughout, Mississippi? We had teams from Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, and the word is spreading. I mean, I was on the internet, and girls from about 15 years ago from Dallas. Also, I see a picture of 8 of them out to dinner at a reunion, saying, "We're back." That's what we love to see. We love to see people who we had meaning in their life. We gave them something. It's like a family reunion. Everybody comes back, and
But there's
that's
one
what I said.
there's one aspect that you haven't really shared yet, and I'm going to ask Jen and Wes. They're the playful ones today and goofing around and everything else. Playful. I mean, how much fun and playful was this event, or has this event been for you guys? And I want to ask the same question to Michelle and Gina, because I tell you one thing: when I first started, 15 years ago, I went with my kids. They loved it. I loved it. I felt like I was with my kids, having fun again. So what was it like for you?
It's a lot of fun. You get out there, you get serious. Like I get what's called serious face when I'm doing stuff, but then in between, it's always fun. And of course, the more I laugh, the more fun I have. The harder coach works us because you can laugh, you can breathe, so you're good. But the whole event's fun. Like I don't know, everything's a game. It's like a giant jungle gym, and you have to play. So everything's fun. Everyone jokes around, but then you get serious when you're sprinting and when you're training. But then in between you know, the wall and the monkey bars, you're joking about something and telling stories, and we're all having fun.
But how cool is that? I mean, I can't think of any other kind of event that's like that. What about you, Gina? What's it been like for you? Was it that much fun and playful, like being a kid again?
Yeah, it is. I think Michelle and Wes in general probably agree that they're the jokesters. I'm a little bit more serious when I'm at practice, but I've learned to lighten up over the years, I think. But yeah, we have a ton of fun, and you know, all of us during the week we all work, and usually we're inside, we're in an office, so when we get together on Saturday mornings and we're basically running around outside for 2 hours, I mean, I look forward to that every single week because we're outside breathing the fresh air. I mean, we're very fortunate because we live in a beautiful state of Florida, so we get to do those things. But yeah, so it's great. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and we sometimes get in trouble because we talk too much, but I mean, that's okay too because we get to catch up with everybody every week, see how their week was.
Sometimes all the time. We get in trouble sometimes all the time.
Yeah, we're in the cold season right now, Gina. So I don't always know how much fun it is when it's like, it feels like it's 120 degrees out and we're like dying. And he's like, "Come on, one more time." We're like, "Oh no!" But I mean, it definitely is one of those things where there's some days when we're out there and you really you just don't think you have anything left. And
yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, and he'll be like, "Come on, just one more. We're gonna go this one more time." And then we'll all get through it, and we do it, and it's amazing. And I think that camaraderie is just something that you can't replace. I do other fitness things as well as everyone else on a regular because we don't train every day there, but when we get together, it's like you're back on the playground and your friends are out there and you're excited to get dirty, and you just you just want to get dirty and have fun and and get the PRs. And sometimes when you have a bad day, it can feel like you fell off the monkey bars, and it's okay. You just pick yourself back up and wipe off and keep going. But it's definitely been such an adventure for me just to kind of see my peaks. And wow, with the pregnancy and some other changes, I had some valleys, but I can always come back to try fitness, and it's awesome.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's all
It kind
about
of
overcoming any type of obstacles, and it's for every type of skill. We're expecting about 50 women over the age of 50 this year. Now we have a 70-year-old woman, Shaw Courtney's mom. I think she's 71 and is registering. And I saw a video of her practicing her box jumps and her bench presses. And we have a kids division, and which is only slightly watered down, but it's for anybody, any skill level. I mean, you have to be in fairly good shape, but if you're in sprint shape, you can make it through. And we have people encouraging you at on each of these events, so it's like a big family affair where you get to challenge yourself and cross the finish line.
You know what's amazing, what I've discovered in talking to so many people is that there's a good percentage of athletes that have never done this before, and they're doing the competition for the very first time at the competition. And what's also incredibly unique, what I've discovered, was that a lot of people are seemingly connecting on Facebook beforehand, never met, but meeting on Facebook, having this incredible camaraderie, and just having this instant friendship, when they get to arrive. I think that's pretty amazing. So, a question for you, Al, is, what's the percentage of people that have never done this before and suddenly, are there for the first time participating?
Oh, over a half. I would say one advantage is on the Thursday, the day before. Most of the events you can train for, except for the obstacle course. So what we do, we set the obstacle course up for a practice run. Now the practice run consists we actually train the athletes. So then 2 days later, at least they're familiar, and in most cases they're able to accomplish upon teaching them, because a lot of it's just technique. After you teach it to them on Thursday, because they're already in pretty good shape because they've been training, they've been sprinting, they've been jumping, etc. So after that Thursday, it's not as intimidating come on Saturday when they have to perform. But a great many. I mean, we have athletes. I know there's large groups up in the New York area, New Hampshire. I mean, they're all over the country. But what they do is they come in prime sprint shape, so they can accomplish this
Nice, nice. So, I
Hey,
just
coach, how do you
know,
get into sprint shape?
what's that?
by sprinting.
So I'm going to ask Jen and Wes, what's been the most impactful part of this for you guys? I mean, how's it changed your life? What's the impact? Because, the purpose of this platform, by the way, is to really share experiences, insights, so that other people can get, the idea of what's possible out there, so that they could potentially change their life, and quite frankly, even, be participants in this event. But what was the greatest impact for you?
I actually, I don't come from a gymnastics or anything like this, aside from track background. I came from a jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai background, and I found out after a few matches that got canceled that my L3 is not fully healed in the center from breaking it in a nasty accident, and then I have this big nasty shoulder over here. So after all of that, coming out there, having coach push me, realizing that I can do this stuff, like my body still works, I'm good to go. Like I've got good monkey bars, I've got good this, good that, everything like works. I have one ligament left in the shoulder, but I can still do the monkey bars and it works. Like getting out there and doing that kind of stuff was kind of a big deal, kind of a big accomplishment. It's like, oh, well, I can do these things. Hold on a second, if I can do it, anybody can do it. But between things like that and then the friends that you make and the people that you get to know, I mean, it kind of becomes your life. You like love it so much, and then you end up becoming someone's wife. No, but so between all the people and the accomplishments and learning that, oh, okay, my body does do this stuff. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, hold on a second. I can lean out before a show, and then you kind of learn what your body does. It's a lot of fun. And then people that you meet, like this
How about
one.
you, Wes?
Uh, for me, like Coach was saying earlier, I played a lot of sports growing up. I was always on a sports team, whether it be baseball or football, and just having that camaraderie was fantastic. I like having the positive attitudes and a positive atmosphere and pushing yourself. And after college, and like Gina was saying, we work every day, so I really didn't have that around me. So going out there and with Gina, Michelle, all the TriFit family, everyone's so positive. It's such a great experience. I have that camaraderie back in my life. We lift weights, and that only goes so far. Going out there, pushing yourself, having that camaraderie, it's fantastic and it's uplifting. And like Michelle said earlier, we look forward to every Saturday, and we look forward to doing the competition in June.
And
You said something really important there, because I think, in today's society with all the super, technology, and it's so much so much easier to be disconnected from other people. And this is a way to really create some incredible friendships, long lasting friendships. And that's what I love about this as well. And so it creates that community of people that, like hanging around each other, have similar ideas and things like that. Makes a huge difference. What about you, Michelle? What's been impactful for you?
I just remember, when I first walked on to the Tri Fitness, we get to train over here in Tampa, and um, I didn't have nearly as much of a fitness background. I mean, I worked out, but it wasn't. I think at that time my friend had just got me to get signed up for another boot camp, and then right after, the coach that place at the boot camp was like, I mean, I was just struggling on everything. And then my friend said, "Hey, let's go try this thing where we jump off walls and do monkey bars." And I still, even though I was like struggling with push-ups and sit-ups, and it wasn't as fun. It's a boot camp in a park, and I was just like, eh. I was so excited. I was like, "Yeah, let's do that." And I remember the coach saying like, "Well, she shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't take her." And I just remember being so naive. I think he really had legitimate concerns because everyone is afraid that doesn't actually do it. There's always a stigma of like, oh, it's dangerous or it's scary, and I remember Coach believed in me from day one. I'm like, "You don't know me, like you don't know, like I have issues." And I remember he's like, and then everyone's in line, and there's a wall there, and people are jumping up on the wall and climbing over this rope and flipping over, and I'm like, he's like, "Okay," and it was my turn. He's like, "And go," and I just looked at him. I'm like, "There's a wall there. Like, what do you mean go?" Like, even though I just saw everyone do it, I was like, "I can't run up a wall. Like, that's crazy." And that particular time, I climbed up and then let go of the rope for some reason, which was not a smart idea, but never saw anyone do that before, or I was special. But after that, I never let go of the rope again, and I always pretty much went over, which was pretty cool. But for me, it's like I always feel like I'm riding the short bus. And I say that in the most loving, wonderful way possible. Like I just never like wrap my
Hey,
head
don't
around
make fun of short people.
I'm sorry, but I just I in so many different ways I can relate to this. But I just always feel like I'm the challenged one, but then somehow I'm able to get through it, and then some days better than others. But sometimes I can do things that I just never thought even possible for regular, like just anyone else, let alone me. And the fact that I can get things done that just like I'm surrounded by other moms, and I'm surrounded by even young people at the CrossFit gym, and I'm seeing all these people that struggle with things, and they could all do it, but people limit themselves. And I think when you do that, you short yourself. And on Coach's territory, nobody's not capable. Like anyone could do it. He believes in you, and he'll get you through it. And I mean, man, if I can do it, I think really anyone can.
Michelle, do you remember my first time going over the wall? Were you there for that?
I don't know.
Okay, you said you felt special. I felt really special because I managed to get my foot stuck between the rope and the wall above my head, and then my other leg was down dangling, and I'm going down the wall like this, and I had to like let myself back down. I was like, Coach, I think I did something wrong. So I'm doing a split down the wall like this.
But that's not like, they were both special, but that's not like, there's people that just go out there and they do it and they're like, and you're like, really? Like, and I don't know.
Just go out there and do it. I went out there, got stuck for a minute, and then I was like, I'm gonna try that again. Maybe like 11 3 more times, and eventually I got it.
And you're like super fast and amazing now. So, I mean, it just goes to show you that it's.
And so are you.
I love you. Thank you.
Everybody gets it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
That's but we all have really funny stories when we first try it.
I swear. I mean, one of like the first conversations, if it's not about kids with somebody, it's about Tri-Fitness. Like, if you talk to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I do this wonderful thing. You want to come play with me? And they're like, who are you? Like, hi, I'm Michelle. Like I really just want to share this with so many people. It's it's one of those things that you don't understand it unless you try it, and you can't ever explain it enough to make sense. It's just like, and then if I start to try to explain it, then they look at me like I might be a little crazy sometimes. They're like, what? Like, we're going to climb over a 20-foot cargo net and do a flip over it?
It sort of reminds me, the way that I like to equate it is, back when you're a kid and you're playing in a sandbox and you get all these fun things to play with, but without the infighting, without the jealousy. Not, you don't see somebody else has a toy that you want and you can't have it. Everybody gets to play. Everybody gets to have fun. And that's exactly what my experience was when I first started. I mean, I just love the idea. This is like an adult playground where you get to jump and all these other things. And I want to ask Gina too, what was impactful for you?
Well, I mean, it really kind of goes along with what the girls were saying, and Wes too, about, I realized this year, after being there for 10 years and the journey that I went on to get to this point, how important the actual journey is and how important the relationships were that I made. And there's been times where, like in anything, you kind of take a break and maybe you take a year off, and you just because you want to take a year off, or you have a baby or something's going on in your life. And but then you come back and you have that drive to come back because you maybe haven't seen people in a long time, or it's that connection. And you might not see someone, like obviously Michelle wasn't there for 9 months because she was having a baby, but then she comes back and it's like she never left. So I think for me this year, even though I trained pretty hard and I really had a goal set for this past year, but what was most important to me were all the relationships and all the people that were there to share some of those experiences with me. They hold such a special place in my heart. I will never ever forget it, and I never want to take that away either. It was definitely my biggest impact.
Nice. So Al, you're a very popular guy. You're a very unique guy, particularly because of what Michelle says and everybody says, is that you believe in everyone. And I've seen that. I've experienced that. Even myself, and how you encouraged me and motivated me, inspired me to come back again. So I really respect what you've done. And I'm going to invite everyone just to share this interview with as many people as you can. Get them inspired, get them excited. Make this mission of Al so absolutely real for as many people as we can. The one thing I also respect about you, Al, is that you have a personal relationship with every athlete, with every participant, and it's incredible watching you do all the work. I don't understand how you can actually speak at the end of these events. Particularly because you're yelling at everybody to work harder. So I want to give you the last word. You started off beautifully with introducing everyone and talking about the events. And what are some words you'd like to share with the rest of the world about this event, about 2017?
Yeah, I want to thank you for all your kind words, but I'll be honest with you. It's the event. I get a lot of credit for the event, but it's the people around me. It's my wife, Bernadette. It's my kids. It's all these hundreds of volunteers. It's guys that used to play football for me 30 years ago. It's guys I wrestled with. It's just people come from all over, old gym members from back in the day. They come out, they support it because it takes about 150 people to pull this event off, as far as volunteers, spotters, etc. So although I get the credit, I need to pass the credit to the people who have taken to me, that respect me, but it, they are the ones that actually build the event. Then there's the athletes who come from around the world. People like the people who are here tonight who share their experiences, go after their goals. Uh, that's a nice arms. You know, just want to challenge themselves. A lot of them probably never thought themselves of getting up on stage in a swimsuit. A lot of them never thought themselves of doing a fitness routine. And all of a sudden you're 40 years old and you're on stage doing a cartwheel or a back or walkover for the first time, or just dancing. Maybe it was something that you dreamt of when you were 7, 8 years old. You might have had a couple friends going to dance school, but your parents couldn't afford it. But now all of a sudden you're 45 years old and you give an opportunity to go up there and perform. So it's the athletes that believe in the event, all my family, my volunteers, uh, and, and people like Bart who've been around for the last 17, 18 years. I think he came back. I think it was like 2002 he came aboard.
Yep. Yep.
But and I just want to thank everybody. And I'm looking forward to June. I'm looking forward to hundreds of people coming from around the world to challenge themselves and feel accomplished.
Talking about when I first started, and I always have to share this, is that I was very proud. I came in third place in the men's division. Very excited about that. And there were only 3 guys, but I came in third place. Now, Al, Jennifer, Wes, Michelle, and Gina, thank you so much. And I'm very passionate about what Al is doing here, simply because it's such a revolutionary thing to bring people together in this fashion, where they can have fun, they can play, they can make new friendships, but more importantly, they get to do something they can't do anywhere else in the world. They get to be their best in whether it's the actual hurdles or the other kind of parts to it. And I think that's that's pretty amazing. And then we get to have a lot of fun. So thank you so much. And again, wrapping up, I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher, Prescriptions for Your Transformation. Hashtag real people, hashtag real conversations. And this is that platform for new voices, new solutions, your transformation, where we get to share new insights, new possibilities so that you can change your life. I want to thank all you guys and have a great 2017, and we'll see you guys in June.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome.
Bye.